Well, everybody, Merry Christmas from Buffalo's Project Garage. I'm Luke. This is Bella down here. And today, I just kind of want to do a walk around. I want to show you guys my arsenal. I've been doing YouTube for coming up on a year now. And I've never walked you guys around and shown you all the cool stuff that I've owned, acquired, either through family, friends, or just Facebook Marketplace. So anyways, today we're going to kind of start off on what you see the most. It's going to be the green truck. Recently, you've been seeing the white truck the most, but we're going to start off on the green truck today. So anyways, let's go ahead and jump right into it. First of all, we'll be starting with my 1997 Dodge Ram 1500. This is a two-wheel drive with the 360 V8 in it with the 43, the RE transmission. I've rebuilt this on the channel. There's actually a few videos on this truck. You guys can go and see me working on the engine, the audio inside, all sorts of cool little stuff. This truck I actually acquired about 6 or 7 years ago, and this was out probably 2 hours away from where I live here. There was an old man who was selling it. He had about 240,000 miles on it when I got it. It's got 65 now. 264,000 miles now, so I've put about 24,000 on it. Anyways, it's been a great little truck. When I first got it, the transmission would not work in third gear or in reverse. Being the video we've had the transmission in. I then went ahead and did a great paint job on it. Only thing I messed up was the clear coat. Put a little bit too much clear coat, got a lot of orange peel on it. I'm probably gonna end up doing I was gonna buff it out, but now I know quite a bit more about painting. I wanna go ahead, sand it down. We're gonna do a whole new paint job on that truck, so you can expect that in the future. But soon after, I did go ahead and I put this bed together, which this took me a long time to do, and it was one of my favorite things that I had done. So there's my dad. I had to wave real quick. we're neighbors. It's awesome. I love it. But we went ahead and I started working on this flatbed right here. So I did the custom sides. I have a video on that. I did some exhaust stuff on it too. It's an all wood bed, and you can see it's kind of got a triangle on the back. I wanted to keep it as symmetrical with the frame and kind of the headache rack in the front there, and I just think it looks sick. I did like the design of going with the kind of like you see flatbed, the welding trucks and all that sort of stuff have with these lights. I did go with that design. And as far as the tailgate goes, whenever you open up this triangle tailgate, it actually clears down flat, so you can have stuff sticking out of the back of the bed and it doesn't protrude out or sit on top of the bed or bend it or anything. Tailgate. Anyways though, guys, this has been my daily driver for probably the past 2 years now. With that being said, I'll go ahead and let's open it up real quick, show you guys the inside. You can see the door panels are matching with the seats. I love this fabric. This has just been my favorite type of fabric in these Dodges. If I could find a roll of this stuff, I would reupholster everything in that. I love that 90s rainbow texture. It's super cool. Other than that, we do have a headliner in it. This is the same one as the other truck, the camo one over there, where it lights up. We got all the pretty stuff. I'll show you guys that real quick. But anyways, we also have a dash that we still have incomplete. I actually talked about this a few videos back, but I am currently rushing to get that Ford done over there. So we're kind of going to have to hold off on a bunch of projects before I can get that thing done. Anyways, though, we got some audio in here too. I have a whole video about that. We got 4 Rockford Fosgate P310s on a 1500 watt amp that peaks at 2200. It hits really hard. And then we have 4 of the 6x9s in the doors and in the back, and the tweeters are Rockfords as well. I have an amp for the mids and highs, and it's crazy loud in this small cab. I love it. I used to have it in a truck that I'm going to be showing you guys a little bit later in the video. But anyways, this has just been a great truck. I daily drive it. It's got new carpet, new paint on the inside. These lights I ended up adding on top of here from LMC Truck. They are pot metal, not a plastic. It's a very high quality. LMC Truck is actually where I got a lot of the new gaskets. It's actually, that's new. Anyways, that's where I got a lot of the gaskets and other stuff for this truck. The windshield in the back, back window I got from LMC Truck. The front windshield was Safelite. But anyways though, I could continue to talk about this truck, but let me just show you under the hood real quick.
This is a garage.
Hey, pop the hood.
Up under here, we got 2 batteries, the Optima high output AGMs. This is for the audio, along with a 320 amp alternator rebuilt from Ohio Generators. Great company, highly recommend going to them if you ever need anything. Online, I don't know if they do a whole bunch, but I have a buddy who works through them with the audio company that I go to, and they do a great job. Anyways though, you can see we have some aftermarket Edelbrock headers down here as well on this engine, and I had to put a new computer in here. I had to do some other little things because I was having some issues with it starting and wanting to stay running, even though I had done a brand new tune-up and everything on this truck. So I've had the top end of it off a few times. I've had the AC apart and back together. This is one of the trucks that vetted me as a home mechanic, I would say. If you can even call me a home mechanic. I'm more of a home give it a tryer, if you want to say that. But anyways, that's about all I have to say on this truck, other than you can see bottom side of the hood is red. It is not the factory hood that came with this truck. This truck was this ugly green color, but yeah, you know, anyways, I'll get that when I repaint it next year. Let's go ahead and move on to what you guys can already see in the background right here, the Watercraft. These are my 1994 Yamaha Wave Raiders. They are the RA700s, two-stroke. I absolutely love these jet skis. When I first got them, I'll throw up a picture here, they looked horrible. I have painted them factory Mopar plum purple with the BMW factory pearl white in here. I put some new turf on it as well, reupholstered the seats, which sadly you can see the original upholstery underneath of it. That got ripped right there. But I went through these jet skis and completely redid the steering cable, some of the electronics in here, and everything. I got fire extinguishers in them, the batteries I have inside right now. But this has been one of the funnest things, just to get away on the weekend with some friends or girlfriend, whatever, get out there and just not think about work and whatever else I got going on. But let me show you guys real quick underneath the hood of these things. So I got the doghouse, I guess you could call it, open up here. Anyways, underneath you can see we got the two-stroke Yamaha here. Both are the factory engines, and everything for its age I feel like is really clean. You can see I replaced the steering and the, well, what is it, the tilt back here. Both of these lines that adjust your trim and your tilt, I think it's called. I don't know. Anyways, I'm not a big marina boat person. I don't know the terminology that well. But anyways, I do know that these are a ton of fun out on the water. And with this color, I love the debadged look of these on the water going 60, 65 miles an hour. They're so clean. This one is a little bit faster than the one over there. I believe the carburetor from the previous owner. My parents actually used to own these, and then before them, some of their friends owned them. He had this one tuned up so he could stay in front of his wife, I believe, on the water. Can't have her being faster than you, right? But anyways, I have acquired them and I've taken great care of them and I love them. They are some of my favorite things to take out and do on the weekend, especially with friends. And it was a fun little weekend project, especially with the painting and all that sort of stuff. It kind of got me a little bit more knowledgeable on that side of the world, especially with the green truck, the camo truck, and now that white truck that I'm painting, which we'll get to that in a minute. But these are the 1994 Wave Raider 700s. Some of the favorite things I own. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the next favorite thing that I own. The 1999 Dodge Ram 1500. This is a 4x4 truck. It has, I believe, a 8-inch lift on it that I did not put on. I got this truck for $400 from a friend who got it from a acquaintance, we can say, who was mechanically unable to fix the truck. So I got a great deal on it. The transfer case when I first got it was the wrong transfer case. So we took that out on the trail, ragged the hell out of it and blew it up. You can see underneath there, that is completely separated, not in a good shape at all. With that being said, it has a new drive shaft in the front, the rear, new transfer case, and as you can see, I have done a custom grille on it. I want to put some cab lights on it eventually, do a front, custom bumper on here. I want to put some armor on this truck for the trail. I want to make this a sick looking truck. Something else I've thought about doing, because of how much I love the look of this grille right here, I'm thinking of doing a 2.0 version on this and making it something I may be able to possibly manufacture and make and sell. Let me know what you guys think about the look of this grill. But anyway, I had to use two hands to get under the hood there. But anyways, guys, it has a 318 underneath the hood, a V8, great engine. You can see it has the factory, the manifolds on it. Haven't been able to get into the exhaust on this one yet, other than the glass pack that it has, which that came before my time. So underneath of here, it does have a new radiator, some new freeze plugs under there I had to work on. That battery and that alternator completely pooshed. I don't know what happened, but they are 100% done. But with that being said, the hood from the green truck is what I have on this truck. This is the factory one that came with it, but it got so damaged here in the middle. You can see I got a bunch of Bondo caked on it, and there's so much stuff that was wrong with this hood. It was destined for a woods truck or the junkyard. So it did find a good home here. Oh, I locked the hood again. There's nothing else to see under there. You guys know what that is. But I did put a new, fresh, well, new to me, transfer case in this truck, a 99, because the one that this 99 4x4 Dodge Ram had in it was sadly a 95, which has a different shift pattern, which is why I ended up blowing it up. But, you know, that's here nor there. So this truck, great truck. I do have the rims that are on the back to actually match the front, but I haven't had time to get all new tires for this thing yet. I have, like we've talked about, other projects that are much more financially calling at the moment. And as far as time goes, I have to orient all my stuff on that white Ford over there. Almost forgot, I almost called it a white Dodge. I want one of those bad, white Dodge dually. We'll get there. But anyways, I am back. My dog was choking over there. Had to make sure she was okay. We care about the Bella dog. But anyways, that has been my 1999 Dodge Ram 1500 with the 4x4. Time to move on to the next. So as you've already seen in the background here, this is not my truck. This is a customer's truck that I am doing a, you could say, a complete remanufacture on, as good as I can do. I've been calling it the Rebuild Series on this truck, and I just finished painting this thing Cadillac white. It is a beautiful color when I had finished it, but sadly, there's a few things that I had missed once I painted it. I had to add some more Bondo. I got some shadow coat on this thing I got to sand down. I missed some stuff on the top of the tailgate here. You can see I'm still working on it and adding some Bondo in. The bed is perfect. The doors are good, but I am still a little bit inexperienced with certain products and certain spray guns, and I had some runs in my clear coat on the doors here. So sadly, we are going to go ahead and sand everything down. No charge to the customer. It's my mistake. I am going to completely repaint the truck so that it is uniform and all looks the same. I don't want to do half of it, you know, half-ass and then half nice once I've corrected my mistakes and learned. I'm also going to be using a sealer this time around to seal any high spots, little metal areas that just happen to be smooth but are showing through a little bit. We're going to do it. You're going to do it professionally. I talked to a few painters and everything, and I really got a better understanding of what I need to do to make this truck last 15, 20 years, like the customer's expecting and like the job I want to do. But anyways, that's enough of the paint job. I just had to address that real quick since the last video was on it. You'll probably see another video on that paint that I am correcting, just a what I did wrong and what you can learn from what I did wrong video, hopefully. And then we'll be getting it all done properly. I have a lot more light in here than I had. I'm going to move the bed and the doors out and do those later in the day, and I'm going to try to do everything at like 6 in the morning. We're going to start with no bugs since I don't have, you know, I'm working with the best that I have here, but I really don't have a paint booth that I can seal off from the outside world. You know, a downdraft booth is some of the best thing you can do for painting with like some water on the floor there. But I have some other plans in that next video you'll be seeing for that. Enough of that. This is a walkthrough of the Arsenal video though. Here we have the L6 inline 6 Ford 300 cubic inch engine. Basically a tractor engine with a truck transmission slapped on it. What else can I say? And I will say, I don't know what transmission this thing has, but good Lord, these Ford transmissions are massive. Ugh, it's not even a four-wheel drive. But anyways, though, this truck is going to get a complete restoration. I've already done the frame, suspension, brakes. The interior is going to be probably the next video once I get done with my paint correction video. And man, February is when I'm planning on delivering it back to the customer. I was trying for December, but as usual, I put too tight of time constraints on myself, and that is something that I am learning with YouTube as well, to try to slow down and take more time on some of these projects and not rush to get content out. You know, I'd rather have quality over the quantity side. So I also wanted to bring that up in this video too. I am really enjoying YouTube, but I'm probably going to slow down at the beginning of 2026 just to work on some other things around here that I have to get done as far as my job goes and school and all that sort of stuff for my education for the job. So it'll definitely still be getting about a video a month, but I'd like to put out more than that, of course. So anyways, well, I have talked enough about this truck. If you want to see some more on this truck, I have 5 or 6 videos you can go watch on it on the channel, but basically, the history is it was a power company truck here in Central Florida. She bought it at an auction in the late 90s and taught her kids how to drive in this vehicle, so it's very sentimental from that point of view. Husband passed away, didn't drive it for 8 to 10 years, got beat up by a nephew, and then here we are repairing it basically. But I go into some more detail in some other videos on this truck. If you will go back and watch those, I guarantee they're worth your time and they are pretty entertaining, especially the first time I had to get this thing started back up after I had it towed over here. So anyways though, next truck is something you guys have probably seen in the background, but you haven't really heard a whole lot about. And after that, I have a truck that you guys have heard nothing about. But anyways, let's go ahead and I want to show you guys my Ford F-350 out here. Well, any long watchers of the channel recognize this truck. It's been in the background of a few videos now, and I have not talked about it yet. This right here was my first ever truck. I love this thing. I'll never get rid of it. It is very sentimental to me, but not for the reasons it should be. It is a 2008 F-350. It has the V10 Triton in it, the 6.8. It is a awesome engine. The transmission is, I believe, it's a 5-speed or a 6-speed. It is 4-wheel drive, and it is completely chromed out. I mean, you can kind of hard to see around the weeds. It's been sitting here, but it had the complete chrome package. This truck had everything you could possibly get other than the diesel engine. That's the only thing that this truck doesn't have that it had as options when I got it from the dealership. So this truck was family's, and it ended up getting passed down to me, and needless to say, it is just an awesome truck. I have some of the best memories of my high school years in this thing and even after. So going out to the beach, going across, state line, all that sort of stuff by myself as a young man, it was just so many good times in here. First girlfriend, all that sort of stuff. So I used to have the big box that is now in the green truck for the subwoofers in this truck. I actually had special brackets made to move the rear seats forward and all sorts of stuff in here. But this truck you will definitely be seeing on the channel one day. I want to make this truck, I'd really love to put an any level lift on this thing. That'd be pretty badass, but you know how money goes for that. Anyways though, guys, that is my first truck. So many good times in it. I'd show you underneath the hood, but here's the reason it's been parked here. I was on the interstate doing about 80 miles an hour, and the 4-wheel drive vacuum in the front locked up, engaged the 4-wheel drive, and ripped the transfer case in half. I then replaced the transfer case in this, checked the transmission, put new drive shafts, drive lines in it to make sure everything was good on vibrations, turned it over, and we have a horrible low-end knock on this engine. Sadly, we're going to have to pull the engine and do a full rebuild on this. I don't know if the block has to be honed or what has to be done, if we have to have it, machined, or what's going to be going on. But I can tell you guys, I can only say I have hopes and prayers that we can salvage it one day. But this will definitely be on the channel. For now, that is my opinion of it. It is just kind of lost in the air. It's just floating around in my mind, and I really don't have the time or the money to mess with it, but I have not forgotten about you. Anyways though, guys, it is time for the last truck in my arsenal here, something you guys have not heard about and I have not shown you, and there's a reason why. It is not completely together anymore. This is the first truck that I ever bought on my own. This inside of here is a completely disassembled 1994 Dodge Ram 1500. This truck is, let me tell you what, I had some good times in this truck, man. For like a month, I had some great times in this truck with friends and everything. It was the most raggedy, clapped out truck, but for 500 bucks, you couldn't beat it. It had the factory red interior, had an American flag on the back and American flag headliner. This is the engine that was in it. It is a 360 V8 with the 46 RE back there. And I'll just tell you what, this truck has saved me so much money in computers, drive lines, parts, and oh man, I'm so thankful that I own this truck. I got extra hoods, I got doors. I mean, we can just go into the amount of brake boosters and all the extra stuff I have over there from the guy that gave me or sold me this truck. I got so much extra stuff with this. Oh, that's nice. I guess my friend left me a little note. That's my first time seeing that. Awesome. Thanks, Max, if you're watching this video. Love you, buddy. But anyways, though, this truck right here, I got probably about 6 years ago now, about the same time as the green truck. And I ragged it out until well, I think the transmission needs to be rebuilt. I'm going to be honest with you. It does not move unless it's in reverse. So I got this from a tree guy. He used this as a tree truck for about, probably 15, 16 years until he retired it. And then it sat in his backyard until, well, I ended up finding it halfway in the dirt and bought it from him. I did drive it off his property. I was able to get it running and get it home that way, but shortly after, transmission burnt out, just like I told you guys. So now it's kind of a parts truck and it sits around in there until I find a use for it. I have a future video planned, my dream truck build. I have to tell you guys, my dream truck is a Dodge Ram dually 12 valve with the P pump. I want a manual 5-speed in it. That's my dream truck. But Dodge never made a true 4-door like the Ford over there. So I want to take 2 club cabs, cut them in half, stretch it, and make a true 4-door. So I may be using that truck in part of that. I also have the frame along with the bed for it over here, and it's just been sitting here for a while. That hood on top of that tailgate, or that bed right there, actually came out of the junkyard. I was going to use that for the green truck until I found that hood had some horrible damage to it I didn't see. But that's the name of the game, right? So probably be using some of the frame to stretch that video, or the frame in that upcoming video. But I don't know, that might be a year or so before you guys see anything on that. That is a project that is stuck in the front of my brain, though. I'll tell you, I want one of those Dodge Rams so bad, one of those 12-valve dualies. Oh, they look and sound so good. But call me sick, I don't know, but I have a thing for those old Dodge trucks. I want to be like the Dex's Jeeps of Dodge Rams, all right? And I am working my way to it, guys. But anyways, that is pretty much everything in my arsenal that I own. If you guys enjoyed this video, definitely make sure to leave a like, a comment. Let me know which truck you want to see me working on next. If it's the gray truck, if it's the camo truck, if you want to see me do the rebuild on the green truck. I would love to rebuild that engine, put a cam in it, see what we can push that 46 RE to, see how much horsepower it can really handle before we got to upgrade that transmission too. Anyways though, guys, Merry Christmas. I'm going to go ahead and get this video edited so you guys can watch it tomorrow on Christmas morning or afternoon or whenever you're getting this. But considering that it is Christmas time, I just wanted to go ahead and leave you guys with a little note. If you normally have family issues, just set them aside for one day, one evening, go to dinner, laugh for 2 hours, get over it. That's what I'm going to try to do with issues that I have, and I hope you guys can too, and try to move past it and have a good holiday season. At the end of the day, what the devil has intended for evil, the Lord will use for good. So on that note, I will see you guys next year, and I hope you have a wonderful, happy holidays. Thank you, and I will see you guys then.